Hello and welcome to i-nastava. This is an English lesson for the fourth grade of high school. My name is Ivana Štiglec and our topic today is travel idioms. At the end of today's lesson, you will write a short story on the topic of traveling using different travel idioms. For today's lesson, you will need your notebook, something to write with, and make sure to have internet access all the time. You can pause this video lesson anytime. So let's start. Do you like traveling? Have you ever been to any of these places? Would you like to visit any of these places? Paris maybe? London, Moscow, or New York? Pause this video, think about it, and try to answer my questions. We are going to watch a short animated video now. Your task is to answer this question. What is the speaker talking about? So let's watch.
I'm not the kind of person who just sits around and watches the world go by. I must have caught the travel bug when I was born, and as soon as my semester is over, I will hit the road again. Whenever I travel, I try to avoid the hustle and bustle of big cities, even though I like shopping and exploring every inch of a new town. But since my best friend has just returned from an exotic trip to Mozambique, I'm more into exploring places off the beaten track. The money to travel has never been a problem for me, as I usually travel light and on a shoestring, making sure to break my journey and enjoy it as much as possible. My sister doesn't understand me, saying that I get itchy feet almost every 3 months. She simply cannot understand my thirst for adventure, because she is more of a staycation kind of girl. Well, as it is said, traveling broadens the mind, and we can learn many valuable things that no school can provide.
So, what is the speaker talking about? I hope you understood. He's talking about his traveling habits. We are going to watch the video once again. But before watching, I would like you to take a look at these sentences. After watching the video for the second time, you have to decide whether they are true or false. The first sentence is, Paul caught a terrible disease when he was born. The second, he spends a lot of money on traveling. And the last sentence, he likes to travel every few months. So let's watch the video once again.
I'm not the kind of person who just sits around and watches the world go by. I must have caught the travel bug when I was born, and as soon as my semester is over, I will hit the road again. Whenever I travel, I try to avoid the hustle and bustle of big cities, even though I like shopping and exploring every inch of a new town. But since my best friend has just returned from an exotic trip to Mozambique, I'm more into exploring places off the beaten track. The money to travel has never been a problem for me, as I usually travel light and on a shoestring, making sure to break my journey and enjoy it as much as possible. My sister doesn't understand me, saying that I get itchy feet almost every 3 months. She simply cannot understand my thirst for adventure, because she is more of a staycation kind of girl. Well, as it is said, traveling broadens the mind, and we can learn many valuable things that no school can provide.
Okay, let's check the sentences. Paul caught a terrible disease when he was born. It's false. He spends a lot of money on traveling. Also false. He likes to travel every few months. That's true. Well done. Now I would like you to read this short text and try to guess the meaning of the phrases in red from the context. I would like you to write these phrases into your notebooks and write the explanations next to them. Later, we will check whether your predictions were right. Before we check the explanations that you wrote in your notebooks, let's repeat what idioms are. You have probably heard about idioms before. Every language has its own idioms and expressions, and the English language has plenty of phrases that are useful to learn. Idioms are words or phrases that aren't meant to be taken literally. They usually have a different meaning from what you see. So, for example, hit the road doesn't mean that you will take a hammer and hit the road. It means to start your journey. Okay, now let's compare your explanations with the ones that you will see here on the screen. To hit the road means to begin one's journey. Next idiom, to travel light means to travel without bringing much luggage. A travel bug is a strong desire to travel to places all around the world. Hustle and bustle means busy and noisy activity or movement. Off the beaten track means away from the frequently traveled routes. Get or have itchy feet means to have an intense desire to travel. On a shoestring means with a very small amount of money. Break a journey means to stop somewhere for a short time during a long journey. Travel broadens the mind means when you travel you gain greater perspective on the world. Watch the world go by means do nothing or very little that is productive or worth any value. Now let's practice the idioms that you learned a bit. I would like you to stop this video lesson and copy this link into your browser, bit.ly travel idioms match, or you can scan the QR code. When you go to this page, you will get a short activity. Your task is to match the idioms with their definitions. Good luck! Our next activity is a short quiz about idioms. You will pause this video lesson, type the link bit.ly idiom quiz, or you can scan the QR code. So check whether you understand all the idioms that we have learned today. In our next activity, I would like you to pause this video lesson and complete these sentences using the idioms that we have learned today. Now let's check. I would love to stay longer, but it's really time to hit the road. The farmhouse we stayed in was completely off the beaten track. Every so often, she gets itchy feet and sets off for a foreign destination. 4. We were tired, so we decided to break our journey in Oxford. And the last sentence, I hate lugging around a big suitcase, so I always try to travel light. Well done. Now it's your turn. You're going to write a short travel story. It is up to you whether you will write about your memorable journey or a disastrous journey. Think about your travel experience and try to write a short travel story. Your story should include the idioms that we have learned today. After you finish your story, please use this writing checklist. Make sure that you have written between 150 and 200 words, that you have included 5 or more travel idioms, and make sure to check grammar and spelling at the end. This is the end of our today's lesson. Thank you for taking part. Goodbye.